bring up mental health and being a business owner. I'm finding I didn't even realize how prevalent this is in our industry, and a lot of people going through things, and I'm not going to mention names, but a lot of people were saying they turn to food or bad eating, and it just kind of gets you in a bad kind of space in your mind with all the stress from running a business. We all know what we go through and all. So I just wanted to kind of put out different ways of people, how do you deal with the stress when it gets like this? And I'm going to start off, when I'm stressed and whatever, my answer is always go to the gym. I'll get on the treadmill, and I'll just go on for like an hour, 2 hours, maybe play on my phone or something, and I just think or whatever, just relax. Or I throw some weights around and all, and it just lets it all go. But I also find out doing junk removal jobs, it's kind of weird. It's like this like relaxing thing for me. It's like I could be stressed or whatever, but I go and do a job, it's like, oh wow, I feel so much better, and it just puts me in a better place. So I kind of want to just go around the room and everything, and kind of get what you guys do. And do you guys ever get real stressed out from running the day-to-day business? And have you witnessed or seen anybody that's suffering with mental health issues from all the stress we deal with? Who wants to start off with that?
I will 100% start this off. So probably a lot of you guys don't know a lot about me personally, but I have severe ADHD problems, like wicked. And I was diagnosed when I was 13 years old for it. And I went through a massive breakdown last June. And I'm not afraid to admit it, because I think as men, we hold in more than women. We don't have all the friends that we can go out and talk to and shoot the shit for. And there's probably a lot of things in here that everyone's like, hey, man, if something goes wrong with Yee, who are you going to call and talk to? You're going to pick up the phone and call your boy, and Yee's going to be like, nah, I ain't calling no one. Fuck it. I'll just deal with it. And so we as men end up taking it on ourselves to solve every problem and have every answer. And I lost my shit in June. I had suicide prevention at my house. I had 6 cops here. They were trying to take me to a psych ward, and I was not going. And it was a really bad night. Thank God I have a best friend who showed up and walked in my house right past the cops and gave me a hug. And I literally broke down and just started crying because I was so stressful. Because even though you guys see all of us in 7 figures and everything else, we still have all the issues that you have. Only we deal with it in a much bigger scale. Our money flow problem isn't that, oh my God, I need to pay my bill of $300 on Friday. It's I have to have $10,000 in labor. And it's Thursday and I've only got 7. And I don't know if anything's going to come in right now because of the 30 grand that's owed to me. So you start to feel like you're a failure, even at our level, and the same thing. And a lot of that is mental health issues. So after that happened, I immediately started to try to get back on some of my ADHD meds that I was on when I was a teenager. And the process is ridiculously grueling to do this. In New York, you have to have 3 doctor's visits with a therapist, and then you see the psychiatrist, and then the psychiatrist is the one that prescribes you all the pills. Well, in New York State, the one that I was going to, I got to the end, and basically the lady told me, I hate to tell you this, but the psychiatrist that you're about to see is never going to prescribe any ADHD pills. So they took me for a $3,000 ride and never gave me anything. So I started looking into alternatives. And I would highly recommend anybody who has ADHD, anybody who has anxiety, depression, mania, hypersexuality, any of these, you know, long ongoing things of I'm not good enough. Highly recommend that you guys go out and check out a guy named Gary Brecka. He is a biologist, a human biologist, and he's one of the top 5 experts in the world on human biology. He works with Dana White. He works with Steve Harvey. He works with a lot of A-list celebrities, and he can tell you within 99% accuracy to the month that you're going to die just by looking at your blood records and looking at your 10 years of demographics. And this guy is absolutely unbelievably brilliant. And so I started watching him, and I found out that a lot of the issues that people have mentally is because the genetics that they were born with were fucked up, and they can't produce a lot of the neurotransmitters that you need. And it's a very simple test you can do to find this out. So I was at my wit's end and I just took the test. It was $199. It's a cheek swab. and you send it in, it comes back, and it tells you your methylation genes that are broke and what your body's not producing. I then got my test back and found out that I have 3 genetic mutations that don't allow me to make enough serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, and I don't have the ability to degrade thought. So when you have a bad thought and you're like, fuck, man, my wife's going to get mad at me, you hold on to it for days, right? Whereas in most people, you think about that and it's gone within a half an hour. I don't have the chemicals to balance that out. So it allows a lot of people who have mental illness, who think bad about themselves, anxiety, and everything else. It gives you a roadmap so that you can start taking the supplements to jumpstart your body to start making the stuff that it's supposed to. And I can tell you that within the first 3 days of me taking methylated B12 and methylfolate and SAMe, almost all of my anxiety went out the door. Almost all of my depression stopped. Almost every single thing that I had wrong with me mentally basically came to an end within 3 to 5 days. And it's 100% natural. And I am extremely passionate about this to the point that my best friend who walked in that day and gave me a hug, he also has ADHD and anxiety and everything else. And we're actually in the works of trying to do a podcast of business owners who have ADHD and how they deal with it, how employees deal with you as an owner who's off the chain sometimes, how our wives deal with us, how our kids deal with us, how we go through society with it. So I think when it comes to like mental illness and stuff, a lot of people also need to realize that most suicides are entrepreneurs. Most people who have mental health breakdowns are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have almost are in the highest class of every type of mental illness in the country or in the world. And it's because you have to be fucking psychotic to do what we do. And there's a big stigma about it. And I just, honest to God, hope that everybody realizes like you can, everybody has mental illness. We all have mental breakdowns and everybody can talk to somebody. Don't be stupid and think you're not going to go through this alone because you're going to have bad days. You're going to want to quit. You're going to want to kill yourself. You're going to want to burn everything. You want to light your trucks on fire. You're going to want to just walk away from everyone. But yeah, I would highly recommend that if anybody has like mental illness like that, depression, anxiety, go get a test from Max Gen Labs. If anybody has it, I'll pay for the first one. I'll put up $200 and pay for the first person to get tested so that they can try to get better. Um, it's a very big passion of mine for this because you got to be crazy to do what we do.
What's the doctor's name again?
So he's not a doctor. He's a human biologist, and he was a mortality expert for insurance companies. And he was tasked with looking at all of your medical records and giving a timeline to the insurance companies. Now, here's the thing. And I didn't believe it at first. I was like, full of shit. I don't believe it, right? I went and got a term life insurance policy. Now, I want you guys to understand something. This is how I knew he wasn't full of shit. I got a term life insurance policy before I watched the guy. And he then comes on and says, you know how when you guys go and get those term life insurance policies, the very first thing they do is a blood test on you? He goes, because that blood test in your 10 years of demographics is going to tell me when you're going to die. And if you ever take a term life insurance policy and you get denied for a 20-year term life insurance policy, there's a 99% chance you're going to die in the next 20 years. The insurance company will not put a term life insurance policy on you unless you have the ability to outlive the policy. That's why 98% of term life insurance policies never pay out because the insurance company knows when you're going to die. They know how long that's going to be and they know how much money they're going to get off of you because all of your blood records just told you how long you're going to live. This is a proven science. This is like, it amazed me. So when he started talking, I was like, yeah, I did. And I got approved. So I looked at my wife. I was like, fucking 20 more years with me. But yeah, it's a complete and utter science to it. And a lot of the people who have mental illness can be cured just by simple supplements over the counter. Literally. I spend $40 a month on supplements and I'm in a much better place than I've ever been.
And most of the supplements he's talking about, they come in your multivitamin, so it's not even anything crazy. You know, it's real easy to get. And is this site right, Russ? Can you look at the screen? Drew posted up a site for Max Labs, Maxin Labs,
Max Gen Labs. Yeah, it's Max Gen Labs. It's the five thing. It's the five panel methylation test, and that'll tell you everything that your body's doing. And you do it one time, and as long as you're 2 years old, they'll have the results for you. So if you have kids who are like out of control and they're like, "Oh, your kid's got ADHD," you got to give them a pill. Go and have them have a swab done on their cheek and wait 2 weeks before you fucking go and stick them on pills. It's going to fuck them up the rest of their life. And he goes into a lot of different things other than just mental illness. He goes into why you have idiopathic blood pressure and why you have this and that. Like the guy is, you'll go down a rabbit hole if you start watching him. You'll be like, holy shit, dude, I had no idea. You'll never go to a regular doctor again in your life, ever. Like for just minor everyday things like aches and pains and blood work and shit, you'll never go to a regular doctor. The guy's a
Well,
fucking genius.
Drew says term life is the one to get. Avoid the whole life insurance. That's the real scam. I used to be a licensed sell life insurance. Okay, thank you, Drew. Appreciate that, man. Hell yeah.
The insurance companies want you to have money in there because they're a financial institution, and but think of it this way too. When the 2008 housing crisis happened and everything went bankrupt, and banks were failing, not a single life insurance company went out of business. Not a single life insurance company couldn't pay that policy because they know when you're going to fucking die. And they know I've got 20 years to get money out of this person and then I'm going to pay them. Give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one. And they're just pulling them in because they literally can predict when you're going to die within 99% accuracy. And if he used to sell life insurance, he would know this because that every term life insurance policy gives you a blood test. You
Junk
can't get
on
one
Junk
without it.
Off says you could get it done by Dr. Gary Bree for
Yep,
six
that's
hundred
him.
dollars.
Well, so you can do Gary Brecka's, and Gary Brecka has to go through 10X, which is Grant Cardone's ventures, because
Okay.
he signed with Grant Cardone last year. So you have to go through their tests, and they're $600. It's the same methylation test that I get for 199. He's just using his name and Grant Cardone's name to be able to charge more, but the test is the same. He also does blood work too, so you can actually go to one of his clinics and he'll actually pull the blood work from you. He's got a bunch of them in California and Florida and all over, and he'll tell you if you really want to know. He'll tell you when you're going to die within 99%. And I'm like, I don't want to know. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm good with that. I don't want to
But
know.
but what he did too is he took Dana White and Dana White you can go look at this interview. Like he went and did this entire interview on him, and he started telling Dana White what was wrong with him, and Dana White got so mad and was like, "Who the fuck told you all this? Because no one has. I've never told anybody this. Who told you this?" And he was like, "No one. I can tell by looking at your blood." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, your histamine levels are high. This is high. This is low." That he said, "Work with me for 10 weeks and eat exactly what I tell you to eat, and you'll never have to take another blood pressure pill again." And 10 weeks later, he was off every single medication he was ever on, and he's never gone back on them. Yeah.
Drew says I see on the Max Gen site they check for food issues too.
Yep.
This sounds great.
Yeah, and the thing too with that too is like I'll publicly show mine. If anybody wants to see mine, I'll give it to you. So my big one is I have almost no COMT gene activity, and that is your catecholamines. That tells you if you have a bad thought, that helps you get rid of the bad thought. I have none of that, so any bad thought that comes in my head, I can't get rid of it. So and it'll literally tell you, okay, you have none of this. Take this supplement. You have. It also told me that I have higher than normal sensitivity to insecticides and pesticides. Like it will literally tell you every single thing that it goes through with all five of your methylation genes, and tell you everything that you should supplement with. And I promise you, your head issues will go away. I'm telling you,
Now,
it.
what's some physical things that you can do also, like, other than taking like supplements and all that? Like, is there anything that you do to deal with all the stress? Do you hit the gym at all? Is there
Wow.
any kind of physical stimulation or anything you do?
I do a lot of deep breathing again because of Gary Brecka, and his whole thing about oxygen levels in your body and giving you 7 years more of life just by doing deep breathing every day. So I do that, but I don't really. But we have such a physical job that I don't really work out. Plus, the other issue is, is I did a physical job for 25 years before I did this. So I served in a very high fast restaurant, but I also did gutter cleaning and roofing. So I've destroyed my body. So I like for me to even do a push up, it is very painful for me to do a push up because I have right now I have tendonitis in both biceps, and I have both shoulders need rotator cuff surgery. So like for me to lift weights and anything like that, it'll fuck me up for days, and I'm just not willing to deal with it. So
Mr. Yee, what do you do for like just getting the stress out and all? It looks like you've been on like some workout shit too, right? With your fitness and all.
You know, I started this business to have fun with my life and not to bring on any stress in my life. Otherwise, I would have stayed at my situation. But the business could be very stressful when the phone doesn't ring. You know what I mean? And crazy and mind boggling, especially when you see competition in your area getting jobs and you're just like, what the hell am I doing wrong? So, yes, we all run to food when we need that fix sometimes. And I love Chinese food. I love
hmm.
sushi. I love it all. You know what I mean? And I would love to just go to the smorgasbord and you know what I mean, Hoffs, all that type of stuff and eat. And but I learned that as we get more mature in life now that we don't we don't really see any people getting beat to death anymore because of the situations that we're in and the circle where we are around. You rarely see a fight, but we see more people with dialysis, kidney failure, strokes, heart disease, erectile dysfunction, and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, health is wealth. And right now I'm on Wegovy, the shots. And because I tried every diet, and the only diet that worked for me, honestly, was a diet from Kaiser, and it was the liquid diet, under 1,000 calories a day. And it was a shake, a bar, a soup, and you have to eat. You can eat 5 of them a day, and you have to stick with this. And you'll start dropping these weights. You'll start dropping that weight off so fast because I don't want to be bashing, but a man loses weight faster than a female, and you know what I mean. It's science, but that's what I tried. Then I stopped. Then I have the gym membership. Me and the wifey have the gym membership. So I said, reached out to the doctor. My blood pressure raised ever since I left my employer. My blood pressure raised. 175 over like 90, and it's like, whoa, that's like stroke. That's like stroke levels. So we decided to go on this once a week Wegovy shot, and I put it on my YouTube for everybody to see. And since it's been probably, I would say, 2 months now, almost, I have one more shot for 2 months, and I've lost almost 20 pounds already. And it kills the urge. It kills.
Let me stop you though. I just want to. I'm here, guys. Listen, you guys don't have to go that route, man. I respect that you're doing some right now and all that, but it's not about a diet, guys. I'm going to tell you this. It's learning to eat for a living, man.
Yeah.
And I eat anything I want, and I could look like this, and I don't have to train all the time, and I'll still keep that. You got to learn how to eat right, man. And it all goes with mental health. It goes with having energy during the day. All this adds up. And what I think happens with is a lot of people fall off. And I could see how easily it is now being on the truck all the time. It's a lot easier just to stop at the fast food place and grab something real quick. And you do that a couple days in a row, now you're in a bad cycle. And all that plays a role in your mental. Your energy levels have just went to shit because now you're bloated. You got all this sodium and sugar in you. You're going up and down with the moods. Where when you're eating every 3 hours, keeping good food in your home cooked food, real everything, just keeping it like, no sugars, drinking water and everything, your mood levels are going to stay stable. You're going to have so much more energy. You're going to feel young again. That's what you want to do. I respect that you're doing something and you're doing the shots, but you don't need to go that way. It's extreme because of, bad habits that got you where you are, where if you correct that bad habit right there, you won't have to go and take these other things that you have to do right now. And I just want to let anybody know out there, I did this for a living, man. Like I was a fitness model. That's what I did. I will help anybody they want. Like you come hit me up and send me a message. Anybody that's ever asked me, that's where I'm an expert. That's where I'm the guru. And I love talking about that stuff. I did this for a living and made a lot of money doing it and really changed people's life, including making pro bodybuilders and everything. You know what I mean? Everything's documented what I did. And I would love to help anybody out. So if you guys are feeling that, or, you don't know where to start, or, the right foods to eat and all, I could just show you the basics and I can make it real simple. There's no counting calories or anything. It's learning how to eat, making your body a furnace for a living, man. And then you could enjoy food. You're not ever deprived. I'm never hungry. I eat whatever I want. If I want a cheat meal, no problem. And especially with this junk removal job, you guys, you don't understand the cardio you're getting every day. You match that up with a clean, balanced diet, like I'm telling you right now, you will never feel better. And oh my God, your body's going to show it. And a lot of guys, you could see it in junk removal. There's a lot of guys that, stay on their fitness and just eat right. And they don't go to the gym. It's just what they're doing every day. And they look amazing. A lot of females out there in junk removal as well. So guys, I'm throwing that out there. If you guys ever want help or whatever, hit me up. I'm all about doing it the natural way and all. And then, there is one other way. Also, you guys, when you get over 35 years old, you got to go to the doctor and you got to get your blood work. And the first thing that you should be asking is, run my test levels, because a lot of guys don't even realize, and it's with the science behind it, our test levels just start dropping as we get older. And what goes with lower test levels is now your estrogen levels sky high. And now you're coming like a female when she's going through a period and everything, and your moods are going up and down. You're holding water, you're bloated, you feel like shit, you have no energy and all. That's a factor of having low tests. So when you go to the doctor, if he sees that test level is low for you guys, he's going to prescribe TRT. That is a game changer. I'm telling you, a lot of guys, that will solve everything right there. All of a sudden now you got all the energy, you could hit the gym, you're seeing you're losing fat, you're burning everything. So definitely something to look into, guys. And like I said, I'm always thrown out there. I will help you guys. I don't want anything in return. I just want to help you guys out, and it's something I could give back. So all these people that help me out and show me the right way in junk removal, I'm the expert when it comes to fitness, guys. And I'll show you. I got a 6-pack year round. I eat whatever the hell I want and all that. So I'll help you guys out with that. I didn't mean to cut you off, Rudy, and all, but I was kind of upset when you went to that shot and you didn't come to me first. I'm like, bro, you could have talked to me and all, but keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm gonna help you out with that shit, bro.
Sometimes, Paul, this is for a lot of people's listening. Sometimes it's not that easy to just go into that lane and just have that much control, especially when you're running a full-time business, full-time answering the phones. And that's an excuse, because everybody should be eating right, everybody should be working out. But like what you said, people, you're working out all day on that truck. Like when I go to my step app on my phone, I got over 10,000 steps, 13,000 steps easy. And if you're just drinking water, like you said, cut that Diet Coke out. You know what I mean? And you're just drinking water, and you know what I mean, just eating right. And you'd be surprised how fast that you would drop it. And the blood pressure will go low. And you'll start, you might even grow more hair. Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? It's just it'll start kicking. You'll have more energy. You'll have more positive thinking. You'll have more, you know what I mean? All that stuff that comes with it. But you have to start somewhere. And not everybody can just, you know what I mean? It's hard to, these guys are excellent in marketing. You know what I mean? How to reel you in to come to the drive-thru 24 hours. And they even say, your truck will even fit in the drive-thru. Don't worry. You got a dump truck. It fits to the drive-thru. Don't worry about it.